And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, and all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bills have taken the early lead. The first play from scrimmage. Some of these people haven't even taken their seat.
That's what is commonly known as a fast start. That's what my horse racing friends would say. They caught a flyer out of the gate. And guess what? They're in the lead now.
Now it's Lucky Whitehead on the return. Oh, look at the juke. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. His first carry. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Here's Hines. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Watch it now, Barney. Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to let it go deep for Mitchell. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. A little more room here on 2nd and 6 from the 6.
Gone!
On the ground, this is Isaiah Crowell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Gone!
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. They'll buy some time right. Looking deep here. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back, and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead, it works opposite.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Williams. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of 6 there on first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a big...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. This is Hines. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Back to throw now on first down. Looking for Shepard deep. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Dancing to his left. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. Going deep for Eifert. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Yeah, here come the Bills. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Allen looks to throw on second down, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now they try the right side here. And a pretty little juke move there, but not a ton to show for it afterwards as he's brought down. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on second down. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And a huge play that time. 46 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Now he's going to go up top over the middle. Looking for his receiver sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line. Well, this is something you may have to deal with when you give the keys to the offense to a rookie quarterback. Now 2 first-half interceptions.
And you do expect it. But I think this deep into the season, you're expecting that to improve and not see it quite so often, or definitely not in this case. So when he goes to the sidelines and the head coach puts his arm around him, he might not be talking to him in nice tones.
So after the INT, it's Allen. Man open left side, it's Williams. A gain of 6 there on first. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
Gun! No, check, Patriot!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Now Allen throwing on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Gun!
Throwing is Allen on third. Looking left side, and it's complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. Back to Buffalo after this.
Gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, Allen throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jones. A gain of 6 there on first.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
On second down, here's Crowell. He takes it to the 15. A flashy move, but little to show for it. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. The Bills on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Detroit!
From the gun, it's Allen. Flushed out right. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now.
This guy's well on his way now to
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bills will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now back out comes the offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet.
It's caught inside the 25. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. They run with Hines. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll set up a throw. Buying time to his left. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Back to throw here. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Now on 4th down, out comes the field goal unit here. And his kick is indeed good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Now Jones. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
A final shot before half for Allen. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Throw left side complete. That's Shepard. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now it's Hines. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They come up in an offset eye. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun!
On 2nd down, here's Allen. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cole. First target, first catch, and a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Gun!
Throwing on first down is Allen. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
Gun! Detroit!
On 3rd down, Allen got his man complete over the middle. That's Cole. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. The Bills send the punter out. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So not only do they get the fumble recovery on the punt, but now look at this field position. He almost took it the distance.
And the ability to not just make the play, but turn it into something big, that's what coaches harp on all the time. How do we create big plays that'll change the game? And that may have been one that just did.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Hauschka adds the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for the touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, his second touchdown on the season. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. The extra point up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 21-17. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Play action. Now it's Allen. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now Allen to throw on third down. And he finds Seals Jones complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Tyquan Lewis makes a stop.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw it right into it for an interception.
They begin the drive with Hines. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
The reason that counter or misdirection plays work so well is that usually you've given them a reason to think that everything's going to the direction it starts initially. You've run that type of a play throughout the game. You've given them that look. And now you're going to counter things and bring it back the other way. Almost a tendency breaker at times. And a lot of it is making sure that you have an illusion, almost like a magician. Look over here, but the play is actually happening over there, and that's where a running back's vision comes into play. See the hole?
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Eli Harold. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. He'll look to throw. Now he'll let it go deep left sideline. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
Gone, 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 gone. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56. Detroit, Detroit.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now he'll escape to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. They go for it on fourth down, but come up empty. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on fourth down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a third down. Operating from the gun, Allen. That's caught over the middle by Seals-Jones. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go.
Lucky 56.
Allen on 3rd down. Over the middle, complete. It's Cole. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try and run for it with Crowell. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. 2nd, 3rd.
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Bills will extend their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. He'll rifle this one, and this is caught at the 20. Touchdown! A big play there. His sixth touchdown of the season. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the linebacker, Eli Harold.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And the Bills are going to recover. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
Gone!
Now Allen. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 22. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught at the 20. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
They'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Down in this one, they needed that score, but they'll have to hold at least for the time being.
You're exactly right. Points that they had to have. As you said, they have to regroup now and see if they can get them another way.
3rd and long. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time.
Now let's go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
They'll set up to throw. Flush to his right. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
He's going to get it running right. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with a clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
Blue landed. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead down to a single point. So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least one play. And this is going to be recovered by the Bills, and that should all but do it. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Buffalo, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Day.
On that beat. Addicted to balling, I have to get my cash. The money is calling. Got bands, got bands, got bands. I'm addicted to balling. I'm addicted to balling. I have to get my ends. I pull up in my pants. Next thing counting my bands. Started getting money. I see how it feels to be rich. I live by the beach now, that's how I should live. Since I was a toddler, I knew that I would become this. I cannot move slow, that's a big no. Gotta chase this money, bankroll after big bankroll. I must get this money, I must get this money. I must get this money, get this money, get this money. I'm addicted to balling. I have to get my cash. The money is calling. Got bands, got bands, got bands. I'm addicted to balling. I'm addicted to balling. I have to get my ends.
Got 100, I need bands. Now look at my dance. What is my jam? Run and get you that bands, turning that party up. Used to have a my Nautica. You know the money be calling up. Friend, I'm tryna all of ya. Talking about he ballin', watch this. Started let me too quick. Went to Oakland with a few. Took 'em all you break. Yeah. Imagine what I paid for the rollie. Still from the police. 24 carats on my Kobe. That for the homies.
I'm addicted to balling. I have to get my cash. The money is calling. Got bands, got bands, got bands. I'm addicted to balling. I'm addicted to balling. I have to get my ends.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Make it like a money back. Money back. God, I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's he said it's a them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He makes sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? Gonna look on my snap. I take your man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this guy in the roof for collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. Baby lay, waist snatch, back, straight back. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine. Jumping on my, that's why they call it trampoline. Babe, back on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a, them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum, always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up, I see you at the again. While you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. Baby, take it. Everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go, your man, with my name in your mouth. I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a, them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways, sideways, sideways.
I defeated my fears, soaked the towel of my tears. So ahead of my time, what comes next are all my oldest ideas. I'm wiser than my chin check y'all in y'all beard. I'm willing to father my peers, all of my peers for all of my years. Out in the field, take a look at my shoes. Never had a thought that it might lose. Considering the cost, I had to give them my dues. Never got a talk to it like you. I've been feeling like a king for months. We eat all the rich cuisine for lunch. All these wishing he was done. Oh, you tried it, that's a piece of gum. Now, look at me, I'm the captain now. I'm recruiting this year. I be praying for y'all while I'm praying for y'all. Like a line abusing this deer. I hate to do with no plans. Now I usually get near. Oh, my ex are her man. Cause I'm the mutant in here. We look good, just show us with the camera. Years ago, I had to up my standards. Make your missus Alabama. Turn it to my only private. Swear like she don't got the answers. Who's the boss? I feel like Tony Danza. Walk up in there like I got the swag. What kind of swagger? I'm the blackest panther. Wakanda. Y'all are wasting your time. I spend it, but I ain't wasting a dime. Might do some favors, but I ain't breaking my spine. Your girl has been calling for days. I get in all different ways. That New Orleans parades. Yeah, we like, none of my people are patient. We live like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Y'all all with it and y'all talk a lot, but y'all ain't got the heart to do the mission. I'm hard-headed like the juggernaut, but there ain't nothing I can do to listen. I'm authentic and I walk around like I just ate, but let you do the dishes. I'm Clark Kent, but mix of Autobots and mixed with everything that you've been missing. Please get back and don't get that involved. Freaking sick, I need a pad of walls. I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs. Homie with me if you asking for it. There ain't much that he be asking for. He just wanna have a paddock on with a watch face with little dragon balls. Look, you don't need me either. All I need is this. No coca ice, and I get oh so polite. You be the man of your city, I'll be the man of my country. You could be the man of your city, I'ma be the man of my country. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. New Orleans parades, yeah, we like. None of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation, yeah, we like. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. Yeah, I'm like, none of my patient. We look like we on a vacation.
Track how G go too fast. I don't need wear no seatbelt. Bad little got no upgrade. Now she got. How about the range on? Who is little baby? He going in. Man, these old rappers getting boring. They be taking shots, I ignore them. Send them to the hood while I'm touring. Making plays out of town like I'm Jordan. Need to go get your. Walk on my way, I'ma score it. Lamborghini, I don't want no Porsche. I'm on fire, don't touch me, I'm tortured. Had the fish on my teeth, I went fortunate. Put the time on my back, I'm a horseman. One more year, I'ma make it a Forbes. They load me in the bay like he 40. I be sitting inside of the Moreland. Ain't no strings attached, keeping it cordless. She keep calling, but I keep ignoring it. Ain't no stopping, I'm keeping it foreign. Man, they can't stop me, I'm going it. Man, they can't stop me, I'm going it. Every time I gone, I get another. Tryna leave me long, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but that's just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go. Every time I gone, I get another. Tryna leave me long, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but